With all the item changes we've had over the past few patches, there are so many new builds that have become way stronger, and we're going to be breaking them all down for you guys in today's video. My name is Sean, and I'll be on the mic for this one while Dan is away on vacation. And are you sick and tired of losing games from bad teammates? Well, at SkillCapped, we turn those frustrating losses into satisfying wins. Take our brand new Season 14 courses that teach you the secrets to winning as a top laner, jungler, mid laner, AD carry, and support, then pair that with our other new courses on how to counter OP top and mid laners, master your jungle clears, or check out our new Bronze to Diamond series. We even have new Season 14 courses on macro, wave control, trading, settings and hotkeys, CSing, vision, mechanics, low elo mistakes. Oh, and the list goes on. Then head on over to our Smurf commentary section and simply select the champion that you want to master and get guides from challenger experts teaching you how to play your champion in the exact rank that you are stuck in. You're even guaranteed to have all your questions answered by that very same challenger expert. Our service really does work. That's why we offer a rank up guarantee. If you don't rank up while actively using SkillCapped, you get your money back. No questions asked. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below right now to get the rank that you have always dreamed of. There's a new Aatrox build that's been gaining traction in the higher elos as of late, and it's a little bit of a hybrid setup. Most popular Aatrox builds right now either have you going full bruiser or full lethality, but this setup is kind of a mix of both. Rush item is actually Black Cleaver, you go into Profane Hydra second, and then Hubris is the third pickup. Now, one of the best Aatrox players in the world over on EU West, who goes by Nile, has been playing this setup. One-shot strength is really good with this build, but you're still relatively durable due to the health from Cleaver and healing from your kit. The 1v1 and side lane threat is also great because you have the Hydra to instantly chew through waves, and then the Black Cleaver works great in extended fights where you can stack up its passive. The analytics really show out with the setup, as Black Cleaver is winning more than Eclipse or Sundered Sky as a rush. The rune page to go along with this build is Conqueror, followed by Triumph, Alacrity, and Last Stand, while Second Wind and Overgrowth are for secondaries. Top lane Gragas has gotten a lot stronger over the past patch as he can abuse a new build that just got buffed. Most top lane Gragas players have been rushing Rod of Ages as of late, but now that Cosmic Drive got heavily buffed last patch, it's outperforming as a rush. Players rushing Cosmic Drive on Gragas are now winning about 2% more than those going for Rod of Ages. Second item is also going to be a lot different than what you see in the more popular Gragas builds, as you're dropping Archangels and picking up Lichbane instead. So Cosmic Drive into Lichbane is the two-item core, and this setup is going to provide a whole lot more damage and one-shot power compared to Rod with Archangels. Other than the boost in damage, another big pro to this setup is that you have a bunch of extra movement speed. Sure, you aren't quite as tanky as if you went Rod with Archangels, but who needs tankiness if you're just moving around so fast and you can just dodge everything? Both Cosmic and Lichbane give flat movement speed, while the passive on Cosmic Drive gives even more, and then the cherry on top is the movement speed you get from proccing Phase Rush. Here's a look at the best performing rune page for Gragas, as it's Phase Rush with Mana Flow, Transcendence, and Gathering Storm, followed by Conditioning and Overgrowth for secondaries. This next setup is one that you probably wouldn't expect, but it's seeing a ton of success over the past patch, as it's Rocket Belt Zac. Rocket Belt was just buffed in 14.15 as the health was increased on the item, and this is an even better buff for Zac than most champs because he has health scaling in his kit. Rocket Belt is now winning the most for any rush item on Zac, so it's a legit option now if you're wanting to go for a more aggressive early game pickup. The active from Rocket Belt is actually extremely useful for Zac because it can allow him to close the gap in certain instances to get range so that he can land his Q or get in behind the enemy so that he can use his R to push them back into his team. Rocket Belt is going to be the only offensive item you go for though in this build, as from then on out, tank items like Sunfire and Abyssal Mask work great. For the rune page, it's going to be Aftershock with Font of Life, Conditioning, and Revitalize, while Triumph and Haste are for secondaries. High elo Lilia players have completely switched up their build over the past patch, as they're no longer prioritizing Blackfire Torch. Torch is out, and coming in to take its place has been Riftmaker. Blackfire has actually been performing pretty poorly ever since it was nerfed a while back, but players continued to build the item anyways even after that. Now players have finally realized that the item is no longer worth the purchase, and they're going for the more durable pickup in Riftmaker. Riftmaker just makes Lilia's skirmish way more threatening because you get bonus health and added healing from the item. Now Lilia is one of the most impactful champs in the game if she can survive drawn-out fights, as her extended skirmish is absolutely amazing. So the Riftmaker pickup just does a lot more for her than Blackfire Torch. Now with Lilia being one of the most OP junglers that you can play for solo queue right now, definitely do make sure you're using this build moving forward to maximize her strength. Here's a look at the complete core build, as you're going to be rushing Leandris, going Riftmaker second, and Zhonya's third. For the rune page, you're going to be taking Conqueror with Triumph, Haste, and Cut Down, while Free Boots and Cosmic Insight are for secondaries. Storm Surge just got buffed last patch, and it's been performing extremely well on mid lane Lux. Now, for the longest time now, Horizon Focus has been the standard second pickup on Lux, but players are really sleeping on Storm Surge. Players that are able to complete both Ludens and Storm Surge in their games are winning about 57% of the time right now, and that's a whole 4% more than players going Ludens with Horizon Focus. The raw one-shot power is just better with Storm Surge, and so much of Lux's strength comes from her ability to find catch plays and instantly delete a squishy. Now, you also get the 8% bonus movement speed from going Storm Surge, which is really nice to have on a champ like Lux, who lacks a gap closer. The complete core build that you should try on Lux for this patch consists of a Luden's Rush into Storm Surge second and Rabadon's third. Dark Harvest is now a really great keystone rune for Lux since it's been repeatedly buffed. It's pretty easy for Lux to gain a bunch of stacks from the rune due to her poke and low cooldown burst combo, so definitely do try this out. Nefiri has been one of the better assassin mids for a while now, and there's a new build that's giving her even more strength. So, Stride Breaker is what's unique about the build, as you're going to be slotting it in for the rush item. Second item is Eclipse, so this 2-item core does offer up a nice bit of added durability. You're dropping Profane Hydra from the build, but Stride Breaker is basically the more tanky version of Profane. You do still have the Cleave passive on Stride, so your ability to shove out waves is great. Now, of course, damage output will be a bit lower, but you're gaining 450 health, which is going to be extremely valuable. Nefiri's engage pattern is pretty telegraphed, as she has the point-and-click lock on from W. You don't have any crazy dashes in the champion's kit, so avoiding damage when you dive into fights isn't really all that easy to do. Someone like Zed, on the other hand, they can initiate a fight and then snap right back out, but Nefiri really doesn't have that luxury. Going for this tankier setup makes a lot of sense in that case, as the health you get from Stride is not going to go to waste. Since you're going for a more durable setup here, Conqueror works really well for the Keystone rune, as you're going to be able to stack it up more consistently. Now, a mistake that so many ADC players are making right now is that they're taking coup de grace in their rune setup. Everything points toward Cut Down just being the superior option in almost all situations. It was a few patches back where Riot ended up completely reworking Cut Down, so it's way more valuable for every game. The previous version of Cut Down gave you bonus damage against enemies that had more health than you. This meant that, for the most part, the rune was only optimal into more tanky comps. This new version of Cut Down, though, just provides you with 8% bonus damage when the enemy is above 50% health. Coup de grace, on the other hand, provides you with 8% damage only when the enemy is below 40% health. So, when you're in a duel with an opponent, you actually have more damage potential coming out of Cut Down than you do from coup de grace. The stats don't really lie here either, as let's take Jinx for an example. Jinx players going Cut Down are winning 52% of the time, while coup de grace players are winning 50% of the time. Even someone like Draven, who most players run Last Stand on, he's winning more with Cut Down. So, if you've yet to swap over to running Cut Down on your ADCs, definitely look to do so in 14.16. This Ashe build has been around for over a patch now, but we didn't get to cover it in our 14.15 edition of the OP builds, so we want to highlight it now. For the longest time now, Kraken into Phantom Dancer and Infinity Edge was the standard 3-item core for Ashe, but that's no longer the case, especially over in Korea. Static Shiv has made its way into meta on Ashe and is her best performing rush item, beating out Kraken Slayer. Now, you don't actually drop Kraken from the build though, as it's a Shiv rush into Kraken second that's working really well. Now, the big benefit to running this setup is that you have a little more upfront burst power than if you were to go Phantom Dancer. Phantom Dancer is going to be great in those long drawn out fights, but that's really not how a lot of fights play out in solo queue. More upfront damage, especially for an ADC like Ashe, who has the catch power in her kit from R is really great because it allows you to quickly kill whatever target you use your R on. The final item to round out the 3-item core is Bloodthirster in place of Infinity Edge. BT as a third pickup is super solid on a lot of ADCs right now, as the shield and lifesteal it provides feels so nice. Not having to recall after you just get chunked to half health in the later game because of the lifesteal that Bloodthirster provides allows you to be more consistently impactful, which is key for solo queue. If there is one support in the game who always seems to have a new build pop up every few patches, it's Bard. This time what players are doing is they're rushing the recently buffed Cosmic Drive. Lathyrus, who's one of the best solo queue Bard players in the world, has been playing this build, and what's crazy is that the item is literally winning more than any other rush on Bard right now, as it's even outperforming Warmogs and Locket. There have been many different tank builds that Bards had success with in the past, and this is just kind of a new spin-off that really works great. Cosmic provides health, haste, and movement speed, and even 80 ability power as well, so you're pretty tanky, you're mobile, and can actually output some respectable damage as well. This is, without question, the most fun way to play Bard right now, and with the build performing so well analytically, it's really a no-brainer setup to try. After picking up Cosmic Drive, you're going to slot in Wit's End as the second pickup. You're playing to be durable, but still output some really nice damage with your passive autos by going with this build. To amplify auto attack damage even further too, you want to take Bloodsong as the support item upgrade. The optimal rune page to go along with this build is Guardian with Font of Life, Conditioning, and Overgrowth, while Freeboots and Jack of all trades are for secondaries. One of the more underrated supports that you can play for solo queue right now, who synergizes really well with the meta ADCs, is Amumu. Amumu can take advantage of Warmogs and become this really nice frontline engage for his team. Now, across all ELO brackets in patch 14.15, Amumu's support won over 55% of the time when paired up with Misfortune. Jhin is another great duo combo for Amumu, and Jhin has seen a big play rate spike as of late with Kai'Sa and Jinx losing priority. Now, after building Warmogs on Amumu, Locket is generally the best second pickup, and your support item upgrade is going to be Celestial Opposition. For the rune page, you're going to want to take Aftershock with Font of Life, Bone Plating, and Unflinching, while Cheap Shot and Ultimate Hunter are for secondaries. Okay guys, one last thing. Our rank up guarantee is absolutely insane. It's kind of like signing up for the gym and then just getting a refund if you don't get ripped. That's how confident we are in SkillCapped. We obsess over making the best guides with the top players, the rigorous testing, and top-tier video editing to make your climb as easy as possible. If you're ready to level up, just visit skillcapped.com and literally see the difference. So that's going to be all for our 14.16 edition of the new OP builds. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.